She met Cheryl at the airport, a 24-hour layover. The mother's friend had dyed the tips of her hair a golden orange, wearing boots and a coat that reached just past her ankles. But still, even in the crowd, recognition. "You live here by yourself," said Cheryl. She touched the walls, stepping through the mother's home, ran her hand across the table. She picked up a photo of the sons together and then two different frames of their individual pictures, a photo of Earl, another of Stefan. Then Cheryl sat on the sofa, crossing her legs. She said, "It's comfier than ours was," laughing. "Toronto," said Cheryl for a while, then Chicago, Chengdu, Hanoi, London, Berlin, New York, and then Toronto again. Cheryl told the mother this as they talked at a nearby cantina. It was their first meal that day. Two mariachi band members softly strummed chords behind them, tuning up before an evening show. Cheryl said, "I was looking for something. Wasn't sure where it was or what it was." And the mother said, "Well, when did you know?" And Cheryl said, "I met someone a little while after I moved out, stayed with her. We moved to Illinois before we broke up. Then I met another woman in Vietnam. We moved to London and went our separate ways in New York. We're still in touch, but it took me a little while, to figure things out." "And now," Cheryl said, holding up her ring finger. The mother chewed, looking on. And then the mother said, "Do you have a photo?" Cheryl gave her a look, analyzing the mother's expression. Then she scrolled through her phone, showing picture after picture of them together, and also a little girl. And the mother said, "Ah." Cheryl said, "Surrogate, if you can believe it." And the mother said, "How far from God you've fallen." And Cheryl said, "Ha," chewing another taco, "It all looks like God to me." When they stepped inside of the lesbian bar, the mother felt herself vibrating just a little bit. Cheryl paid for their drinks. They took a seat on the patio. Women sat among other groups of women alongside a handful of men. The mother lived in Houston for years, but she'd never seen the shade of evening sky above her at that moment. And it was hard to believe, she thought, that she was sharing the same dusk with everyone else. And Cheryl said, "I always envied you a little bit at first." And the mother said, "I can't imagine why," stretching. And Cheryl said, "You had everything figured out. A husband." And the mother said, "Look." And Cheryl said, "It's fine, that's not what I'm getting at. Earl was a good man, just not for me. You had someone, is what I'm saying. A way to be, a home and all that." "And look what it got me," said the mother. Cheryl said, "Looks like it got you a lot." And the mother said, "Yeah, well, here you are, wife and a baby, the nuclear family." And Cheryl said, "I can hardly believe it myself." And the mother said, "I can. You wear it well." And then Cheryl looked at the mother. She whistled. She said, "We're too clean in this life, Could have covered twice as much ground in half the time." And the mother said, "Perhaps, but we're still here." Then Cheryl said, and the mother did too. They watched a pair of young women lean against each other, laughing and moving to the music. Cheryl started to look for a hotel, but the mother insisted she stay in her home. When they stepped through the door again, the mother told her she'd only be a moment, stepping into the bedroom to shower and change. But when she entered the living room, Cheryl had already fallen asleep. She dozed with her arms crossed on the sofa, her feet folded underneath her. The mother watched her. Then she covered her with a blanket from the sofa. The mother took a seat on the other side, folding her knees onto it, covering herself with the blanket's other end. When she woke up, she couldn't remember the last time she'd slept so soundly.